Yo, the enemy's public, I gotta keep my eyes open. Pay attention, stop walking around like you blindfolded. This not the World Cup, but Nasir be kicking knowledge. This the type of information you can never learn in college. It's time to fight back, it's no more trying to play it cool. We got interviews, podcasts, and got the latest news. So sit back and relax, we about to get it started. Earth is a canvas, and guess who's the con artist? They brainwashing us, the system corrupted. You are now rocking with the enemy's public. You are now rocking with the enemy's public. I said you are now rocking with the enemy's public. Hey.
A once goal-driven, ambitious Sapphire turns to the street life after the sudden death of her big brother Dre. Dre's best friend Devontae tries to honor his homeboy's last request of looking out for his baby sister. A rebellious Sapphire makes it very difficult for Devontae to carry out his promise. Author Angela King James presents Fire. Get it on Amazon, on paperback, or Kindle. Peace. This is the enemy's public, and I am Bro.Nasir. Pardon my tardiness. I know this stream was supposed to start at 9:45. I'm usually prompt, but I had business to take care of. Plus, I'm a little tired, but I had to do this stream. About 10 California officers facing corruption charges in a FBI inquiry. The arrest came after a 2-year investigation that uncovered evidence that officers in 2 Bay Area cities who also faced civil rights charges had acted as though they were above the law. That's what the prosecutor said. 10 local police officers in Northern California were arrested and charged on Thursday after a series of FBI raids stemming from a 2-year investigation that the authorities said had uncovered a raft of crimes, including falsifying records to receive raises, illegally distributing drugs, and improperly deploying dogs that harmed residents. The officers worked at the Antioch and Pittsburgh police departments in the Bay Area, where Ishmael Ramsey, the United States Attorney for California Northern District, said in a news conference that the officers had acted as though they were above the law. Prosecutors painted a picture on Thursday of 2 police departments in deep disarray, with officers skirting accountability by destroying records and not wearing body cameras. Actions that officials describe as dishonest and dangerous. Even if they're wearing those body cameras, they thumb their nose at the body cameras and they commit crimes with their body camera on and citizens pointing the camera at them. Officers from both departments face a maximum sentence to 10 to 20 years in prison and $250,000 in fines. This will go down in history as one of the darkest moments in this city. Lamar A. Thorpe, the mayor of Antioch, said in an interview, Mr. Thorpe was himself a target of some of his former officers' antagonism. Some said in text messages obtained by the FBI during its investigation that they wanted to shoot him, he said. The Antioch Police Officers Association said in a statement that it looked forward to seeing the legal process play out and that it was committed to still providing quality service to the citizens of Antioch and also providing support for our members who are still working through this difficult time. The police department in Pittsburgh, which abuts Antioch, did not immediately respond to calls, seeking comment on Thursday. Now, I seen a video with Antioch Police Department. The person was complying, and the police department still sicked their dog on the man. Now, it's very barbaric to sick a dog on somebody that's not on your property, unauthorized, or trying to harm someone in your family or yourself. To sick a dog on someone as a police officer for failure to compliance, or to chase someone and bite and maul them, is outright barbaric and wicked. Dogs used by the police, my humble opinion, should only be used to sniff out drugs and bombs. It should not be used to chase people and grab people and the dogs, they do it so viciously. They maul people, they lock on people, and they start shaking, when they're biting people, just ripping people's bodies apart. And these officers train these dogs to do that. I want to share my screen, and I'm going to show some of the conversations that these officers had with each other about how they had fun victimizing people, in particular our people. But they victimize everybody, but in particular, my concern is my people. But I don't want to see nobody have harm done to them. I don't care who it is. Nobody should just have harm done to them for no reason. Even if they broke the law, they still don't deserve to have harm done to them if they're in compliance with, the law.
In 2020 to another. One of a number of text messages found in one of 4 unsealed indictments released on Thursday by the United States Attorney's Office.
Let me be clear. Color of law violations will not be tolerated.
That from FBI Special Agent in Charge Robert Tripp, referring to someone in an official position who deprives someone else of their constitutional rights, which is what is being alleged in many of these documents.
The indictment describes how defendants boasted about their illegal uses of force in text messages between one another.
Within these 4 indictments, 9 sworn police officers and 1 community officer with not only the Antioch Police Department, but the Pittsburgh Police Department as well. As to some of the charges:
conspiracy to violate wire fraud, conspiracy to distribute anabolic steroids, wire fraud, numerous civil rights violations, destruction, alteration, and falsification of records in federal investigations, and obstruction of justice.
The indictment shows numerous text messages discussing use of force on individuals. In 2020, one officer texts this to another: LOL, what did you get? Then a derogatory term for a person of color. In another alleged text, an officer writes, I walked out the tent and game planned how to expletive him up. Went back and did justice. Wish you were there, inside a tent with no camera.
Peace to the family in the chat, Doe Eyes. Peace to Big Dog Philly OG. Peace to integrity and honesty, equal wholeness. Peace to the brother Kenneth Powell. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate that.
Camps.
Collectively, these 4 indictments describe a group of officers who acted as though they were above the law.
One of the indictments also alleges that an officer used his personal cell phone to tip off the target of a wiretap. 8 of these officers have already had first appearances in court. 2 more will have that soon. These crimes have maximum sentences of 10 to 20 years in jail if convicted. J.R. Stone, ABC 7 News.
Yeah, these cops, they're nothing but thugs.
We're going to start with FBI agents busy this morning, arresting nearly a dozen Bay Area police officers for crimes ranging from violating suspect civil rights to obstruction of justice.
The officers all worked for either the Pittsburgh or Antioch police departments. NBC Bay Area's Valina Jones was in Oakland federal court when officers faced a judge. She joins us live now from there with the whole story. Valina?
Well, that's right. You know, this early morning raid started around 5.
This is what the brother Q Norfolk was talking about earlier, but this is in another municipality. This is in California. These cops, they want to arrest people for breaking the law, but in reality, the police break laws more than anyone. They just have the so-called law on their side, and they think they're above the law. And they have this perceived power that gives them that mindset.
5 a.m. this morning, and like you said, this stems from a 2-year-long investigation into both current and former members of both the Antioch and Pittsburgh police departments. Some of those officers were here in court today. They spent the majority of the day here inside this federal courthouse. In total, around 9 suspects have been arrested. This is a result of 4 different indictments today. 7 of those defendants were in court for their arraignments. The charges are wide-ranging, including conspiracy to distribute narcotics, altering and falsifying records of a federal investigation, wire fraud, where officers allegedly defrauded money from the police department, civil rights violations, and obstruction of justice. Now, during the investigation, racist and homophobic text messages were also found between dozens of Antioch police officers on their cell phones. That's also under investigation by the state.
Collectively, these 4 indictments describe a group of officers who acted as though they were above the law. The officers had no interest in de-escalation or other proper law enforcement tactics to avoid violence.
Color of law violations strike at the very heart of our justice system. They undermine public confidence in the law and law enforcement and erode the fundamental rights of our citizens.
Now, one of those Antioch police officers, Marisa Amari, is charged in 2 of the indictments. His attorney says they are still waiting to review the discovery of evidence. They add they're disgusted by this early morning FBI raid, explaining that their client would have surrendered peacefully if he was given the opportunity.
These dramatics, and that's what they were, that took place at his house in the very early morning hours today were entirely unnecessary. It was unconscionable. There were
Just like when they bust in people's houses, waking them up out of their sleep, and when they flinch, they get shot dead. At least he get to come in when he's under arrest. This person here, Julia Fox, perfect last name, because she's sly as a damn fox with her language that she's using, having sympathy for this man who broke the law. They broke the law that they're supposed to enforce. And she's up here saying how unfair it is that they busted in his house to make the arrest. Now he knows how it feels. To the element of surprise. He knows that now. He knows what it does and how uncomfortable that make people to be woken up out of their sleep. But he get to go to court though.
flashbangs deployed at his house. He was surrounded, and there was use, as I understand it, of a megaphone.
Most of all the defendants in court today are being held on a $100,000 secured bond using their house as collateral. All of those suspects that were in court today are expected to be back in court by the end of this month. We also know that there are some people that were not arraigned. They are currently either out of state. Most of them are out of state. We know that this investigation stemmed with help from FBI officers in Texas and Hawaii and other places throughout the country. So a lot of hands involved in this investigation. Some of those defendants still need to come back here to California.
All right. Thank you, Valina. A lot of information there to digest, a lot to go through. Thank you.
Now I'm going to go to the prosecutor announcing the indictment.
For the San Francisco Division of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. To my left is Simon O'Connell, the Chief Assistant District Attorney for Contra Costa County. Today we are unsealing 4 separate indictments. They allege crimes committed by current and former police officers of the Antioch and Pittsburgh Police Departments. The charges are wide-ranging. They include conspiracy to violate civil rights, conspiracy to violate wire fraud, conspiracy to distribute anabolic steroids, wire fraud, numerous civil rights violations, destruction, alteration, and falsification of records in federal investigations, and obstruction of justice. Before I further describe the charges, I want to emphasize that every defendant is presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in a court of law. The allegations in the indictments are just that, allegations. No defendant is charged with all the conduct in all the indictments. And the defendants all are entitled to a presumption of innocence regarding each charge.
They're guilty as charged. All of them were guilty. You got the evidence, they're guilty. Stop standing up there cop-splaining. They're guilty.
The crimes alleged in the 4 indictments are organized in this chart. The first indictment charges 6 defendants. I will refer to it as the college degree benefits fraud indictment. The indictment describes how several defendants conspired to defraud police departments, including the Antioch and Pittsburgh police departments. The officers claimed that they had earned college credits towards degrees, when in fact they hired people to attend classes and take exams for them. The police department's policies permitted reimbursement of the tuition cost and awarded salary raises to officers who earned college degrees. These defendants conspired to defraud their police departments and to reap the financial benefits of earning college degrees without putting in the work or obtaining the knowledge that comes from real educational achievement. The second indictment charges 2 defendants with conspiring to distribute anabolic steroids. The indictment describes how the defendants agreed to illegally obtain
and they were probably distributing the steroids to each other. They were selling the steroids to each other. I can guarantee you that. I'm absolutely certain that they was distributing the steroids to each other.
And distribute the drugs. It also describes how one of the 2 defendants allegedly destroyed evidence of the illegal conspiracy. The third indictment charges a single defendant. I will refer to it as the obstruction indictment. As alleged in this indictment, a police officer destroyed, altered, and falsified records in an effort to obstruct a federal investigation. Specifically, the indictment describes how the police officer was assigned to monitor a wiretap, how he used his own personal phone to call a target of the wiretap, and how he then prevented that call from being recorded during the wiretap. The officer then falsified records related to his call. The defendant is also charged with a civil rights violation in which he allegedly confiscated a citizen's phone and damaged it to prevent the retrieval of relevant evidence. The fourth indictment is the deprivation of rights indictment. This 29-page indictment describes a disturbing litany of civil rights violations by 3 officers of the Antioch Police Department. The alleged crimes include the improper deployments of a canine as well as weapons in order to harm individuals in and around Antioch.
That is some outright KKK-like behavior, sicking the dogs on people when the dogs really should be for sniffing out bombs and drugs, but they don't want to chase because they're cowards. And not only that, they like the brutality. They just love the brutality. It gives them a rush.
The indictment describes how defendants boasted about their illegal uses of force in text messages between one another. The defendants also allegedly shared photos of their victims' injuries and even collected, as mementos, spent ammunition from their attacks on the people of Antioch. Collectively, these 4 indictments describe a group of officers who acted as though they were above the law. The officers had no interest in de-escalation or other proper law enforcement tactics to avoid violence. And they tried to escape scrutiny by, among other things, failing to submit truthful reports and by refusing to properly wear and use their body-worn cameras. Police officers take an oath. The oath is a solemn promise to defend and follow the Constitution of the United States, as well as federal and state laws. Police officers...
The United States Constitution is not as valuable or worthy as bathroom tissue, used bathroom tissue.
Promise both to enforce laws to protect the public and to protect the rights of the accused. That's the job. The indictments unsealed today paint a picture of officers who have violated that oath. When this happens, the damage done to the public trust cannot easily be calculated.
This prosecutor, FBI agent, wherever he is standing up here saying, speaking as if there ever was trust in the police department in Pittsburgh and Antioch. These 2 departments are known for their racial antics and their brutality towards the people of those municipalities. They're known for it.
This office, however, will not rest until all persons who engage in this sort of behavior are apprehended and prosecuted. The defendants in all 4 cases have been arrested, and a schedule for court appearances is now being worked out. I want to thank Special Agent in Charge Tripp and the Office of the Contra Costa District Attorney, including District Attorney Diana Beckton and Chief Assistant Simon O'Connell, for devoting the resources and the hard work necessary to ensure these charges could be brought, as well as the other hardworking individuals in our office who you also see today, who are the AUSAs who put in the groundwork on this case. We'll now hear a few words from Special Agent in Charge.
I'll tell you one thing, their microphone system is very janky. This is not my microphone system sounding like that. It's theirs. It's just janky.
Charge Robert Tripp. Bob?
Thank you very much, United States Attorney Ramsey, and thank you all for joining us here this afternoon. My name is Robert Tripp. I am the Special Agent in charge of the FBI San Francisco Field Office. This morning, the FBI arrested 9 subjects identified in the indictments referenced by United States Attorney Ramsey. All of these individuals were previously or are currently associated with either the Pittsburgh Police Department or the Antioch Police Department. None of those arrested were actively engaged in law enforcement, although 3 were current employees of local departments who had been placed on administrative leave. The arrest warrants were served today across the Bay Area, as well as in Hawaii and Texas. More than 100 FBI personnel participated. They were drawn from our San Francisco, our Sacramento, our Los Angeles, our Dallas, and our Honolulu field offices. These arrests are the culmination of more than 2 years of painstaking and methodical investigative work by the FBI, by the United States Attorney's Office, and by the Contra Costa District Attorney's Office. The FBI treated these arrests like any other operation. We used the same processes to assess risk, and we used the same techniques to mitigate that risk. Tactical assets such as SWAT teams.
That's good, but the officer, I'm sure most of them feel like you didn't have to come at them the way you come at other citizens because they're officers when they're armed and they know you're coming for them. So they may move in desperation. So they came at the officers right. And not only that, they get to feel what we feel when they kick our doors down in the middle of the night, barking, screaming, and yelling when somebody is miscombobulated, just waking up out of their damn sleep in the night, people shining flashlights, pointing guns, wearing all black most of the time, and yelling and screaming in people's face. So they get to see how that feels.
Our crisis negotiators and our surveillance team supported the operations this morning. This case has been one of the San Francisco field office's highest priorities for many months. Law enforcement officers are sworn for a reason. We bear a tremendous responsibility to police our communities lawfully and in keeping with the Constitution, and we must always be true to that oath. Now, we use the term color of law as a shorthand for the idea of using one's official position to deprive someone of their lawful constitutional rights. Color of law violations strike at the very heart of our justice system. They undermine public confidence in the law and law enforcement and erode the fundamental rights of our citizens. Let me be clear, color of law violations will not be tolerated. Not all of the charges referenced by United States Attorney Ramsey involved color of law issues, but those other charges are also very important. They are, in fact, violations of federal criminal statutes committed by sworn officers dedicated to upholding the law, and the citizens of our community deserve law enforcement personnel who practice what they enforce. Any breach of the public's trust is absolutely unacceptable. The operations today make clear that no one is above the law. The FBI and our partners are absolutely committed to protecting the civil rights of members of our communities. We will continue to hold accountable those who break the law. I want to extend my sincere appreciation to the FBI personnel here and across the Bureau that made the operations today possible. I'd like to also extend my thanks to the Contra Costa District Attorney's Office, who have worked tirelessly to bring about the results today. And of course, I want to thank the United States Attorney's Office, whose dedication and unwavering commitment to bringing justice led to these charges being brought forward today.
With that, if anyone has any questions, you can tell us your name and your outlet.
Yeah, Chris and Carlo, KCPS. There were named and unnamed people in each of these indictments. Also, we have like 45 officers who are on leave. Can we expect to see more indictments coming down, and is this investigation continuing?
I can tell you that the investigation is still continuing.
J.R. Stone with ABC 7. So within these 4 indictments, how many officers are we talking about, and how many charges total within all of those officers?
The chart here outlines the charges against the officers. I believe there are 10 officers total.
Are we expecting, Jacob Rogers, Mercury News, many times, are we expecting any further maybe state charges as well out of this? And can you also reflect on what does this say about the state of police in Contra Costa County, given a lot of the allegations?
There are two questions. So your first question was, can we expect any state charges? Obviously, we're here to comment on our federal charges. We obviously had participation by the Contra Costa County DA's office, and we appreciate that partnership. Like I said, the investigation on the federal side is continuing. And your second question was, what does this say about the state of policing? Really just with the comment only on the charges against these officers, and then obviously there's allegations of wide-ranging civil rights violations, as well as other offenses, including wire fraud with respect to the college credit scam and distribution of steroids.
Olga Rodriguez with the Associated Press. Can you talk about how this investigation began and just what's happened over 2 years to get us here today?
I don't want to talk about the specifics, of the investigation. I can honestly tell there's been months of hard work put into this by various agencies. I appreciate the partnership of the Contra Costa District Attorney's Office as well as the FBI will do that hard work. Obviously, we think these are important cases to bring, and we now are at the point where we have indictments that have been returned and individual officers in custody charged with a wide range of civil rights violations and other charges, including wire fraud and distribution of steroids.
I'm told more of these officers will be in court tomorrow. Where will they be in court tomorrow? And are these officers all still behind bars?
This case is venued in Oakland. And there have been numerous hearings.
I tell you, their video footage, their microphone system.
All right, it appears their signal may have gone out, but again, that is a news conference that is now underway, as we have learned that several of the California officers there in Antioch and over in Pittsburgh there, both, as I mentioned, in California, have been indicted as part of a civil rights probe. I do want to go over some of the basics of what we know about the case here. The U.S. Attorney's Office in San Francisco and the FBI holding that joint news conference right there, where they did announce the arrest of Antioch and Pittsburgh police officers for civil rights violations. Antioch Mayor Lamar Thorpe confirmed earlier on today to our Fox 2 San Francisco team that multiple officers were arrested by the FBI this morning in a civil rights.
Yeah, they deserve to be arrested. They all should go to damn jail, prison. Salute to JJ, the Enlightening One. Salute to my brother, the Rose McCoy. Salute to Mama Chula. Respect to you. Integrity and honesty equals wholeness. Peace. Salute to you. My brother, Kenneth Powell. Salute. Thank you for coming through. My brother, Big Dog Philly OG. And respect to Doe Eyes. I'm not going to be long with the stream. I just want to put the information out there. Everybody knows how I do it. Everybody knows I'm on the job when it comes to dealing with these people who call themselves public servants. I always say the enemy is public. Anyone who's out here as public servants to us, they're not serving us. So the enemy is public. So that's where I'm at with it. And going out, I'm going to play some of the music in the community. Just want to come in, give this information, and play some community music and sign off. But I thank everybody for coming through. and supporting me.
I'm a real nigga and shit, man. I keep telling you niggas, man, stop playing with me, man. Y'all niggas be taking this, y'all take motherfuckers humbleness for a weakness. You think as a nigga and shit, you know what I'm saying, be on some chill shit, that that's an opportunity for you to just walk all over motherfuckers, say what you want. And here's the issue. Niggas is nosy like bitches. You feel me? Niggas love to stick their nose in some shit like bitches. Niggas love to run, tell that gossip like
I've been seeing shit through night vision. That mean I see you eyes closed. I told you I would get you. Now it's time, die slow. Dangerous the spirit of rap. I'm in the flesh. Talent is a body of work that I possess. You fucking with the wrong gun. Bet I let it speak to them up close and personal. Underneath a nigga chin, that's how you make a brainstorm. Any bad thoughts you was having, I just put it in the air, they get rained on. Niggas always doing a lot until they dead ones. Bodies get viewed in a box over these breadcrumbs. Similar to Broadway stages, shit get clapped up. They become vacational clothes, niggas get packed up. I could tell you building on lies. What the fuck for? A lion that talk to the sky. This shit a up, bro. You can't get a slice of the pie. Bitch, this ain't a pizza. Tell me what it's like when you die. See you when I see you.
I'm from the old school and shit, man. Like real talk, man. I'm an 80s baby and shit, man. I still do all the old school principles and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like real talk. But on some real shit though, man, let me get right to it though. Like real talk.
On this internet, niggas who talk, they be straight soft. Catch one of them niggas slipping and blow they face off. Real shit, do it myself. I never make calls, bullshit. Fire my gun till it been laid off. Imagine what it do to your dreads, my nigga, trust me. One shot, fuck up your locks like Puffy. Point blank, all you saw, how niggas moved in. Got your shit all on the walls, like school gyms. Should it be a movie when I step on the set? My chain glow, got me looking like a special effect. It hang low, when it shine, it be dripping respect. It gave hope to all them niggas that was wishing me death. You in the veggie state, coma, they ain't giving you hope. Cause your body's still alive, but it's missing your soul. This shit the Matrix, and no, it ain't no script for your role. Cause you ain't never pay attention to the glitch in the road.
Right, man, you try to play with these slaps. You play with it in names. Like you try to put a fucking, facade out there just like I'm some type of phony motherfucker. I'm some type of fraud nigga or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm one of them snake ass niggas or something like that, dude. I've been one of the most transparent niggas on YouTube, shit. Like real shit. I ain't never had a problem with coming on this motherfucker being my motherfucking self. Like real shit. I ain't never had a problem coming on this motherfucker and being myself with no motherfucker value shit. I'm a nigga from the street, dog. I done did time and shit, dog. You think I'm gonna let a nigga on YouTube, on the internet and shit, paint a picture as if I'm a fraud ass nigga and shit? Like I'm some type of motherfucking sneaky ass nigga? Nah, I'm very transparent.
Yeah. Let go. Let go. Let go. Cyphers. Shorty ass, I'ma MC and let get it. Mommy wanna ride with him, let get it. Let go. Let get it. Let get it. Shorty ass on my MCM, let get it. Mommy wanna ride with him, let get it. 10, 20, 50 Benjamins, let's get it. Let get it. Let get it. Yeah. Once again, I'm out with the gang, let get it. Non-recession money ain't a thing, let get it. No time given to a lane, let get it. Leg get it. Leg get it. Shorty ass on my MCM, leg get it. Mommy wanna ride with him, leg get it. 10, 20, 50 Benjamins, let's get it. Money in my bank, chubby with the K. Pull it out for haters cause they hate. Gotta fix your face. Number 4 gorilla in this train. Yeah, I'm about to take off, flame. Get it through your brain. We will never hang. Never hang. I don't do TikTok, my watch do the same. Niggas like flip-flops, they sliding on game. You need a pit stop, get up off my wave. Rap is not this, I know I don't see flame. No, they complaining cause they do it on my own. Got a lot of mouth, but I don't see you on. Why these niggas still fake for the gram? Getting used by the ops once again. You would never ever know. Never ever ever. I got mega weather flow. Mega weather flow. I got a mission to vote. All I need is some fine women willing to go. Let go. Leg get it. Leg get it. Shorty ass on my MCM, leg get it. Mommy wanna ride with him, leg get it. 10, 20, 50 Benjamins, let's get it. Leg get it. Leg get it, yeah. Once again, I'm out with the gang, leg get it. Non-recession money ain't a thing, leg get it. No time given to a lane, leg get it. Leg get it. Leg get it. Shorty ass on my MCM, leg get it. Mommy wanna ride with him, leg get it. 10, 20, 50 Benjamins, let's get it.
My brother Chris Cyphers.
You smell that, ladies? That's nitrous. One shot, boom! Now, you want to handle this hand to hand, man to chick, then we'll go home. Hello? Hello?
Hating me, nigga, you never win. Flyer than you ever was, fresher than you ever been. You on the internet looking dumb, this shit don't never end. Blabbing on about a bunch of shit that you never did. It's going down, shut it down, that's a certain fact. You a clown, a living circus act. Jealous, ain't they? That's the reason they looking stupid. You was dissing on me, what a shame. Nobody viewed the nigga stupid is. What stupid does must be retarded, and this shit go for most of you niggas. Don't get me started, I will walk you down. In this hour, it be the darkest, it be broad day. Niggas is still catch it regardless. Bitches thought I wouldn't go far, I wasn't one to fail. Didn't want me, now that it's on, they looking dumb as hell. Fuck you thought, never look back. This shit is funny and I'm going off the simplest fact that you a dummy.
That you cry for me, cause I would never cry for you. I know you're getting tired of things, I've been getting tired of you.
You still a big dummy, a idiot, a dummy. And I don't fuck with stupid, not for any kind of money. You still a big dummy, stupid bitch, you a dummy. You know you see me winning and you still ain't learned from it. Cause you's a big dummy. Into my eyes you see I'm high as a bitch. So really what makes you think I give a fuck you exist? Shit, I elevated. With this music they up the payment, but when niggas hate it, I get easily frustrated. You a big dummy, your decisions is where you fall short. I find better use of my time, making the walls talk. Dangerous, a letter for clip, then spit another round and barrel pointed over you niggas. I had to dumb it down, your Facebook picture was one of the worst. See the truth is, shorty, you a bum and it hurts. You at the social service building every month on the first. A bunch of low-life bitches that been under the dirt. Bitches thought I wouldn't go far, I wasn't one to fail. Now you trying to give me your heart, you looking dumb as hell. Sleep it off, take you a nap. This shit is funny and I'm going off the simplest fact that you a dummy.
That you cry for me, cause I would never cry for you. I know you're getting tired of things, I've been getting tired of you.
You still a big dummy, an idiot, a dummy. And I don't fuck with stupid, not for any kind of money. You still a big dummy, stupid bitch, you a dummy. You know you see me winning and you still ain't learned from it. Cause you's a big dummy.
Dangerous music. Next we got coming, Chief Cali. Try everything.
He's laughing, Jeff.
First skipped message sent yesterday at 5:27 p.m.
I'm tired of how black men being killed. They done put some respect on our damn name. The brother in Minneapolis do everything the right way? Where is he right now? I don't want to hear do things the right way. You are not going to prove police.
I swear it's like a disease that goes round and round and round like sirens. I see the strangest things, the evil that money brings. I swear it's like a disease that goes round and round and round like sirens. And they wanna bury me, why? 'Cause I'm anti-everything. I swear it's like a disease that goes round and round and round like sirens.
Man, I'm anti-dirty cops, anti-bullshit, I'm anti-scamming ass preachers in the pulpit, I'm anti-no truth, anti-full of lies, I'm anti-scared to try, I'm anti-scared to die, I'm anti-poverty, anti-stay the same, I'm anti-hard lies, anti-scared to change, I'm anti-pity parties, anti-excuse makers, anti-lazy niggas, anti-truth haters, anti-praying march, I'm anti-quiet nigga, Malcolm over Martin, I ain't anti-violent nigga, anti-fake woke, anti-unaware, I'm anti-Jesus Christ, I'm anti-church and prayer, I'm anti-false hopes, anti-Holy Ghost, I'm anti-fairy tales, brainwashing grown folks, I'm anti-Jesus letting killers in the church house, and God ain't doing shit, but watching as we get murked out, I'm anti-niggas too blind to open their eyes and see, I'm anti-loving my enemies and apologies, I'm anti-gangbang music, helping kill the youth and drug overdose music targeted to me and you, I'm anti-black cops, signing while they killing us, and black judges hugging the killer, but they ain't helping us. I'm anti-scared to fight, anti-scared to lead. Malcolm said won't be no revolution, cause y'all scared to bleed. I'm anti-no proof, anti-no evidence, anti-niggas not asking questions, just believing shit. I'm anti-begging to the sky with situations, thought I trust and I believe in me. I'm anti-belief in God, I'm anti-evil on this earth, hating racism, anti-hateful whites, I'm anti-niggas, nigga, anti-genocide, self-hating, suffering. If it don't help to better us, I'm anti-everything.
The strangest thing, the evil that money brings. I swear it's like a disease that goes round and round and round like sirens. And they wanna bury me, why? 'Cause I'm anti-everything. I swear it's like a disease that goes round and round and round like sirens. I see the strangest thing, the evil that money brings. I swear it's like a disease that goes round and round and round like sirens. And they wanna bury me, why? 'Cause I'm anti-everything. I swear it's like a disease that goes round and round and round like sirens.
Man, I'm anti-roots, nigga, anti-fake truth, I'm anti-believing the slavery stories taught in school, I'm anti that we all from Africa don't apply to me, I'm anti-Kanye rocking our people back to sleep, I'm anti-granny killers, grandcestors had the truth, I'm anti-monkey shit, I'm anti-Lucy too, I'm anti-letting these white folks tell me just who I am, my granny came from right here, nigga, she was an Indian, I'm anti-getting scammed, anti-getting played, I'm pro-genealogy, I'm anti-DNA, I'm anti-refusing to check in the shit that we was gave. I'm anti-believing the white man and not what granny say. Niggas ain't like it when Walker came dropping facts in. He said he wasn't black and he ain't African American. That's real talk, real spill, real life, real deal. I'm anti-hurting us. My mission is to help heal. I'm anti-ignorance, anti-religion shit. I'm anti-cool with niggas cognitive dissonance. I'm anti-lacking knowledge, put us at a disadvantage. Anti-social with niggas fighting for a chicken sandwich. Anti-Flint water, anti-sucker shit. And fuck you to them blacks that's selling out for the government. I'm anti-no planning, anti-folk scamming, anti-no will. I'm anti-low standards, anti-no drive, anti-low lives, anti-low esteem. I'm anti-no pride, anti-wanting to quit. I'm anti-giving up. I'm anti-niggas not helping to lift our people up. I'm anti-hating niggas, anti-lame niggas, anti-6ix9ine. I'm anti-snake niggas, anti-low vibe. Live life, fly high. Some days it's gonna be full of rain, the other days the sun is shining.
The strangest thing, the evil that money brings. I swear it's like a disease that goes It's like a disease that goes round, round, round like sirens. See the strangest thing, the evil that money brings.
That a man was shot and killed inside the chapel at this World Changers Church International. A man, a worker at the church, leading a prayer, opening the prayer service today. And as the longtime member who talked to Karen indicated, there were a lot of people who go to that prayer service on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 10. Different people lead the service. But as he was leading the prayer at the start of the service, a man walked up to him and shot and killed him, shot him at point blank range.
We are our own saviors. If you're looking for someone benevolent that's going to come and save us, you're going to die waiting. We have to be self-saviors. The one who is going to come and save us is us, and that person will come from the womb of one of our women. Outside of that is outside of us, and it's not going to happen. I want to thank everybody for coming through, joining me this evening. I appreciate it. And I hope everybody have a good night. Before I go, I want to promote my wife's new book. It's called Fire. It's a good read. If you want a good read with some action and some drama, check out the book, Fire. I'm going to leave the link in the chat. Meanwhile, I'm going to play the promotion. A once goal-driven, ambitious Sapphire turns to the street life after the sudden death of her big brother, Dre. Dre's best friend, Devontae, tries to honor his homeboy's last request of looking out for his baby sister. The rebellious Sapphire makes it very difficult for Devontae to carry out his promise. Author Angela King James presents Fire. Get it on Amazon, on paperback, or Kindle. I urge the family to pick up the book Fire. It's a good read. I'm not co-signing it just because my wife wrote it. My wife is very talented, absolutely very talented, and she's a good writer. And if you want a good read, I suggest that you purchase the book Fire. It's on Amazon. You can get it on paperback or Kindle. I'm putting the link in now. We're going to have merch that's synonymous to the book soon. But meanwhile, if you want a good read, purchase the book Fire, written by Angela King James. I thank everybody for coming through, and I hope everybody have a pleasant, whatever's left of this evening is about to be the next day in another 8 minutes. Anyway, be safe out there. This is your brother Nasir, and this is the enemy's public. Peace.
Yo, the enemy's public, I gotta keep my eyes open. Pay attention, stop walking around like you blindfolded. This not the World Cup, but Nasir be kicking knowledge. This the type of information you can never learn in college. It's time to fight back, it's no more trying to play it cool. We got interviews, podcasts, and got the latest news. So sit back and relax, we about to get it started. Earth is a canvas, and guess who's the con artist? They brainwashing us, the system corrupted. You are now rocking with the enemy's public. You are now rocking with the enemy's public. I said you are now rocking with the enemy's public. Hey.
Hey, once. Hey, once.